And what's up, Tricology family, and welcome back to another episode of the Tricology News Talk. And today we got some, as you already know, as always, we got some news and some updates and announcements for you guys. So let's not waste it. Let's get on to it. So first off, we gotta talk about some sad news. Is that one of the most funniest comedians from my generation I know is Gilbert had passed this past week, and if you guys didn't know who Gilbert is, he was the voice of Lango, the Red Bird in the first Aladdin animated film of Aladdin. He also did a one scene with Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop 2. I also remember his work when he did the first two movies of the Problem Child series, and believe it or not, he was the voice of the Aflac Duck, and I didn't know until I found out. I'm like, I keep asking myself like, who did the Aflac Duck? And now I'm just realizing that right now. So I mean, that's just crazy. But yeah, he did pass this week on April 12th. So he was definitely often known as a veteran actor, comedian, musician, and also a comedy writer. And yeah, he recently had a 2017 documentary shirt as Gilbert exploring his life and career. So we're all saying that he's no longer with us, and that a blessing to his family and everything else. And but let's move into some good news. So Fast and Furious 10 adds Captain Marvel's Brie Larson to the cast. So this is gonna be very interesting. I want to. If I had to bet on it, she's probably gonna be on Don's team. I should say Don's family. But we'll see how that goes. But this is what Slasher Film has reported. Like most of the cast of Short Term 12, Larson's star has risen quickly in the recent years. So it's no surprise to see her joining yet another one of Hollywood's biggest movie franchises. Petro's fast star Van Diesel, who played Dominic Toretto in the movies, broke the news on Instagram by sharing a photo of himself and Larson behind the scenes. Ever the hype man, Diesel teased her character will be timeless and amazing, describes Larson as a profound soul who will add something you might not have expected but yearned for. So I'm kind of interested what her character is going to be, and like I said, I predict she's probably going to be with Dom's family, but we'll see how it goes. And moving on, Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon adds Ant-Man's Corey Shell and Cal Evers to the film, and this is what the Hollywood Reporter has reported. Cal Evans and Carl Stone have joined the galaxy-span cast of Zack Snyder's epic sci-fi fantasy Rebel Moon. Dutch actor Michael Hansen and Mexican producer Alfred Hannon, who were also on board the Netflix mega project that began production later this month. Sophie Bata is the leading the ensemble cast for the film. It also has Charlie Hamilton, Demi Houston, Bonnie Bay, Ray Fisher, Rupert Friend, and Stu Martin on the call sheet. The story tells of a peaceful colony on the edge of the galaxy that is threatened by the army of a trio named Bushers. Despite the colonists' dispatch of a young woman with a mystery past, seek out warriors from the neighborhood planets to help them make a stand. So this is going to be very interesting. I mean, and I want to see like behind the scenes and hopefully trailer on Zoom. I don't know when it's going to be the actual release date. I hope to see some more updates on that. But it sounds very interesting, and I love to see what Zack Snyder has up his sleeve. But we just need him to come back to do the Snyderverse. That's all we've been asking for. So he can still do other projects, but we need to come back to restore the Snyderverse. That's all I'm saying. Doctor Strange 2 America Chavez creator receives no compensation for the movie. So this is weird. So this is what Hollywood Reporter has reported. From comic book writer Joe Casey, seeing Chavez soar into the new heights is bittersweet. Casey is proud of his work on America Chavez and what she represents. Yet, like many comic book writers before him, Cassie feels like a tangle of regret watching his creation take off without him being mentionably compensated for it. Cassie has not received a payment for America Chavez outside of the page rate that he got when working for Marvel as a writer. And he was when he and the artist Nick Gilbert introduced the character in 2011, Cassie reject what he describes as a appendices of an offer ahead of her Multiverse of Madness appearance. The fact that Marvel owns America Chavez, this is not a dispute of any level, but there are still significant flaws in the way that the careers are neither respected or nor rewarded. So I feel bad for the creator. I feel like he should have get something in return, because this is your character creation, and once you see something on screen, you expect to get something. I know this is kind of crazy, so if it was me, I would be upset too. But it's just crazy how business it can be. And I've been telling certain friends that when you go into the movie business, and you're maybe like a comic book writer or you're an author, things not gonna be the way as it is when you're out of your own realm and you go into another realm, and it's not gonna be the same. So it's just crazy. So but I'm still looking forward to Doctor Strange the Multiverse of Madness, and it will see what America Chavez is. So so I can kind of go dive deeper and see what her character is and how she shines on screen. The Flash to end with a shortened season 9. So last week we talked about a potential Grant Gustin being replacing Ezra Miller as the Flash, but let's talk about how season 9 is going to end. And this is what Screen Rant has reported. The other entry note is that the Flash season 9 is the final season. It will be concluding just ahead of the release of the Flash movie from Warner Brothers, in which is set to release on June 23rd, 2023. It will be an interesting road for the Flash character, as the Flash movie was announced in October 2014, just a week after the Flash television series premiered on the CW. The movie has been in development for so long, and it went through so many different creative incarnations. The television series was able to run to almost a decade and will conclude before the Spectre Speedster makes its way to the big screen. So I hope we to hear more story like we covered that last week. If Grant said it's going to be the new Flash in the DC extended universe over Ezra Miller, but we did see those two share a screen together in the Flash TV series, so it's gonna be interesting how this thing gonna go. But and speaking of DC, there's one thing I want to mention, and you guys already know about it. We touched about it on our channel, is that Warner Brothers Discovery is official, and now with that, DC is going to another overhaul. But what I mean by that, let me explain to y'all. So, DC changed their logo again. I don't know why, but the main reason of the overhaul is that DC might get their own studio, like Marvel. Studios from Disney. Yep, they think about bringing DC their own studio and a producer creator like Kevin Feige. So, Warner Brothers Discovery have reached out to certain people. They're waiting to hear a response. One said no, and they're waiting to see because they want to get a creative producer like Kevin Feige, like Kevin Feige, to produce the DC DC Studios, to have its own brand of movies, just like what DC is doing with Marvel and Marvel Studios. And I'll say this would be a terrific idea, so that way Warner Brothers don't mess up the whole creative decisions over DC. Now, there are some things they did really good, and I'll like, for example, Matt Reeves' Batman, Christopher Nolan's Batman, Tom Phillips' Joker, and James Gunn's Suicide Squad. Those are the only ones that Warner Brothers got right as far as the movie. Everything else, no way. I also want to mention the Tim Burton and Robert Downey's Batman as well. I can't forget that as well. But other than that, Warner Brothers just took too much over control. It had some success, and it didn't really have success at all. Oh, and also I want to mention James Wan with Aquaman 2. So let me relate the list again. James Wan's Aquaman, Tim Burton and Robert Downey's Batman, Christopher Nolan's Batman, and Matt Reeves' Batman, Tom Phillips' Joker, James Gunn's Suicide Squad, and what else I forgot to mention, and oh yeah, and Patty Jenkins, Wonder Woman. Yeah. So yeah, those are the ones that Warner Brothers got right. Everything else, they just took too many creative control, and some were successful and some were not. And I'll give you one example: Zack Snyder and the Snyderverse. They went too crazy over that, and now we want the Snyderverse to be back. So hopefully, DC get their own studio, they get their own creative team, and they get their own business team, so as to set aside from Warner Brothers, so that way DC can get their own thing. Now keep in mind, Warner Brothers name could be still listed under the credits, showing that this is still distributed by Warner Brothers, but DC still has control over it. So that's how it is with Marvel Studios. Marvel Studios gets all the control, but it's still good to distribute by Walt Disney. So that's how it should be. But we'll just have to wait and see in the near future. Hopefully sooner, but we'll see what's going to happen between now and then. So, a lot of people asking this certain question. So, and this the question is, should sequel movies have a previously on recaps like a startup of a TV series? So, and they say when it comes to movies, sequels and future installments often release years apart from each other. So, do you think movies should also have the same thing, especially those who may not either seen the previous film or not rewatched the previous film recently prior to seeing to the new one? That is very interesting. Do I think they should do it? Yeah, but at the same time, is it going to break barriers from the movies and television? I don't know, but they should recap of what everything that happened. So, but I still tell my friends, like, if you're going in to see a sequel, do not see the sequel yet. watch the first one first, so you kind of have an understanding of what happened before going into the sequel. That's what I always tell my people. So, but I mean, it's not a bad idea. But the question is, will it still break barriers for movies and television? I don't know, but we'll see how that is. Moon Knight and Hawkeye appear to be one and done. No season 2. And this is what Comic Book Reader has reported. As reported by Variety, Marvel Studios is in the process of submitting its latest batch of DC Plus series of a variant of Emmy Awards, similar to WandaVision. Both Hawkeye and Moon Knight have been submitted for the limited series catalog, suggesting that the shows will not continue into season 2. Contrastly, while Marvel Studios had intentionally indeed to submit Loki into the same category, the plan was changed due to the confirmation that Tom Hiddleston's Mysterious God will continue for season 2, as per to the Television Academy officials describing for the limited series catalog. A show that is nominated for the award must tell a complete non-revealed story and not to have an ongoing storyline or main characters in subsequent seasons. So, my question is, if their show is going to be limited series, what is on their contract? I mean, how many appearances deals do they got? That's the question there I need to know. Is like, are they gonna go appear in other movies? That's the question I like to know. But we will not know that. We don't know what the future holds for these characters after they were done and they're done. So we all know, if you're not seeing the series, Hawkeye and also Kate Bishop are a team now. We don't know what the future holds for them, and we're still in Moon Knight season, and we don't know what's going to be the future for Moon Knight. Hopefully, we see Blade, we see the Punisher, and hopefully we get and Ghost Rider. Hopefully we get that Marvel Midnight Suns team in there. So hopefully we'll hear something soon. So we got some details on the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and discussing one of the characters. Obi-Wan tragic background info on the third sister hit characters in portions of a new rumor. And this is what Comic Book Reader has reported. According to the MakerStarWars.net, Moses' Instagram Inquisitor Reva, also known as the third sister, will be more than just a brutal antagonist. The insider knows that there is a both humanity and range behind her motivations, which it will in fact to Obi-Wan Kenobi's endgame. Reva is importantly not a incapsulated villain, and her art will have ramifications on the story. The show will seemingly explore elements of her tragic past, revealing how she was taken from her family and trained as a warrior for the Jedi. Following the events of Order 66, Reva is then present with options to die or work for the Empire as part of the Inquisitors. So, I like this this story background, because the Inquisitors are like was either supposed to be trained as a Jedi or taken from a family. So I like this story there, and we kind of saw that similar story to the Inquisitor in the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order game. So I like that. And hopefully we'll get to see how this character perform in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series in late May. So I'm definitely excited for that. Sony's Man from Toronto gets dumped into Netflix. So, and this is what Variety has reported. Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson's action comedy The Man from Toronto is heading to Netflix. Variety has alerted exclusively the Sony Pictures production, originally dated for an August theatrical release, has now sold in a worldwide rights deal to the streamer of all territories, Barricade China. The transfer falls under exclusivity in the first look deal Sony had signed with Netflix last year, on the heels of a novel winery agreement with the tech giant in 2021. The film revolves on a case of a mistaken identity from the world's deadly assassin known as the Man from Toronto, played by Woody Harrelson, and a stranger, played by Kevin Hart, ran into each other in an Airbnb. Chaos soon follows as the assassin world comes crashing down on Hart. Netflix will release the film later this year. So, when I heard this headline, I thought that Netflix was going to give it a different release date. So this is good that they kept that release date, but hopefully we get to see a trailer soon for that. And lastly, we want to talk about the NBA playoffs have also started from there, and we kind of touched that with Donna in the Respect the Comment podcast, and we won't give our actual predictions until we get to the Western and the Eastern Conference Finals. So but other than that, that's it for our episode for today. And also, I posted the table discussion episode where I interviewed Demetrius Holmes, aka Phantom Santa, where we talked about his rise into wanting to be a professional wrestler, wrestling indie shows, and hoping to make it to the big leagues. So that episode is uploaded as well. And if you're if you're listening on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and hit the notification bell for new videos up and episodes are uploaded. And then of course, if you're listening on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts, don't forget to go into the description below, click on the YouTube link, and post your comments and let me know what are your thoughts on this episode I discussed on today. But other than that, this is Trico, and I'm signing off. Peace.